Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today. And today we are looking at your December 2023 reading, what your predictions are, what the possibilities are that could be in store for you in the month of December. And I want to apologize in advance if I cough during this reading, or I just sound weird, or I sound off, or I just have to really take my time during this reading because I actually have COVID right now. Yeah, that's a separate story all in itself, but I'm actually not in Colorado right now. I am in Illinois. I am back at home at my mom's for the time being, and I'm here basically the duration of Thanksgiving through the new year. And when I got here for Thanksgiving, my mom, lo and behold, got COVID. So I got COVID from her, and I can't believe it's been 3 years since this whole thing started, and it finally caught up to me now. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty good, but, yeah, it's, it's been fun. So, and that's obviously, sarcastic, but, I've had a nonstop tickle in my throat, so that's where it's coming from. I'm definitely better than I was, which is why this is delayed. I wanted to have this up earlier, obviously, but, being sick, things kind of got slowed down. But I wanted to make sure to get something up for you guys at least early enough in December to do this. So here we are. So like I said, try and be patient with me as I'm trying to get this reading out, because it's definitely taking more out of me than normal, and I apologize for all the coughing. I do have a drink right here, so I'm going to try and stay hydrated as I go along here and take sips if necessary. And I have cough drops, so if I have to suck on a cough drop and talk at the same time, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, so before I get into our pile introductions here, number one, you guys, happy holidays. 'Tis the season. It's officially Christmas time, which is so exciting. I'm so happy about that. I even brought some of my own Christmas decor from home to kind of add to the festiveness. Even this cute little Christmas tree from Target. I actually just got that here. I was like, I gotta make my surroundings festive here for any readings I do from my mom's. So here we are. Anyways, you guys, before I dive in, I would just ask you really quickly, number one, if you would just be so kind to give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out here on the YouTube algorithm, and would just honestly help me feel better in the fact that I am not at my peak top potential right now. And if I do resonate with you as a reader, and you don't mind me reading with COVID right now, I would ask you to also go ahead and subscribe. I invite you to subscribe to my channel as well. And when you do, hit that notification bell, because then you will be up to date, in the know, and informed of any brand new readings as they come along, or updates in general, or lives, or just, anything that's going on. So I definitely invite you to subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. Did you get COVID at all? If you did, how did you survive it? What are your plans for the upcoming holiday season? Anything you want to share, even just a simple small emoji goes a long way. So yeah, all that good stuff. And if I do resonate with you as a reader, I also invite you to check out my website. If you're interested in getting a personal reading with me, those of course are available there as well. And aside from personal readings, you can also find this very oracle deck that I'm going to be using in today's reading. Let me actually grab the box here. It is called A Magical Christmas, and this is my very own oracle deck that is currently available for purchase. It makes a wonderful stocking stuffer for the intuitive person in your life, whether that is someone you know or you yourself. Like, it's totally okay to give this even to yourself. So that is something that is definitely available. It doesn't matter whether you're doing readings for yourself, reading for friends, reading for clients of your own. It honestly makes a wonderful addition for anyone's deck collection at all different reading levels, whether you are a newbie, a brand new beginner. It's easy to understand, it's easy to interpret, all the way up to someone who is very seasoned and has been doing this a very long time. So if you enjoy this deck, I definitely would recommend picking it up. And truthfully, you can use it any time of the year. I mean, of course, this is most appropriate for the holiday season, but, if you want to do yourself a little Christmas in July type of reading or something, it's great for that too. So yeah, this deck is available there, as well as a couple of others that I have. So whether you're looking for an oracle deck or a reading, check out my website. All of that information is there. That's the only way that I offer readings anyways. You have to purchase through my website or Etsy. You can find those things on Etsy too. So links to all of that good stuff is down below in the description. And also, if you guys are interested in joining my Patreon is open as well. The really cool thing about Patreon is you can join as low as $1.11 per month. So for $1.11 per month, you get a weekly card pull sent to you every week to give you a little bit of guidance and insight on things that may be coming up for you that week, themes that may be up on deck, things to consider, that kind of stuff. And at the $5.55 level and up, those card pulls actually turn into daily card pulls. So you'll get something sent every single day. And you will also have access to the Discord server that I have, the private Discord server, to connect with others. It's a great community there. So yeah, you can just connect with others, make friends, do life together basically, and find hopefully some laughter and support and encouragement along the way on this crazy journey that we call life. So I definitely invite you to check out my Patreon as well. It's a good community. It's a good time. It's a fun time. So I always recommend that, especially for people if maybe they can't afford a reading or something. It's still not a private reading, but by going through Patreon, it's definitely going to be, I guess you could say, like more niched, more specialized, because it's going to be for a specific group of people. So anyways, like I said, all of that information is in the link down below, whether it's Patreon, private readings, decks that are for sale, any of that good stuff. Anything and everything you need to know dealing with me is in the links down below. So I've definitely rambled on long enough. This is like nearly a 9-minute introduction. My brain is kind of all over the place right now anyways because of COVID. But let's get into these pile introductions, shall we? Okay, so starting over here, we have pile 1. Pile number 1, we have Christmas ornaments here, you guys. Pile number 1 is the 98 degrees Christmas ornament. This is from 2017 from their At Christmas tour, which was an amazing show, by the way. So anyways, yeah, this is the 98 degrees snowflake Christmas ornament for pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the Key to Disneyland. It is the Disneyland ornament. So we have Disneyland on the front and Sleeping Beauty's castle on the back. And yes, this is from Disneyland, obviously. So that's pile number 2. Pile number 3, we have a little Christmas tag that says, "The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear," from, of course, the infamous holiday movie Elf, one of my all-time favorites. And finally, pile number 4, we have this pink Starbucks cup Christmas ornament. So, yeah, because, Starbucks is delicious. Peppermint mochas all the way. So that's pile number 4. Anyways, choose the pile that stands out to you. You can choose one or all or anything in between. You can choose as many or as little piles as you want. You can choose by ornament, you can choose by number, you can choose simply by just what stands out to you. However you choose, that's all that matters. But definitely choose the ornament or pile that resonates with you the most. And we're going to get started over here with pile number 1, our 98 degrees Christmas ornament group. Hi, pile 1, with a cough. If you chose the 98 degrees snowflake, oh, that looks like that's bright. Trying to make it not so bright, which is so weird because I have my ring light on like the lowest setting right now, but still very bright to me. But yeah, if you chose the 98 degrees at Christmas snowflake ornament, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what you need to know the most for your December of 2023. Very cool. All right, we're going to put this guy, I'm gonna put him right here. I still want him in view for you guys, just not taking over the shot. Okay. So we obviously have some cards from my own deck, but before I get into that, I did pull one tarot related card. This is from the TikTok Tarot, and the TikTok Tarot only has the major arcana. So we are going to look at what your major arcana card is for the month of December. And you guys got the Emperor. And I don't know why my dog just growled, but hopefully she's quiet now. Okay, I'm just going to read their description of the Emperor here. It says, accomplishment, confidence, wealth, stability, leadership, and achievement. So yes, those are all obviously very positive things. The Emperor, he is basically the embodiment of all the kings in the tarot. So he truly is those things. He is a natural leader. He is, he's pragmatic. He is logical, but he also has emotions and feelings, and he taps into those, and he's passionate about things, and he follows the desires of his heart, and he is charismatic. People are naturally drawn to him. He also is grounded and stable, and he's reliable, and he's someone that you can count on. So, he's got a lot of things going on here. Good things. So, and this is obviously also a masculine energy we're tapping into here. So, this could be in reference to someone who is a masculine person in your life, but I feel like more so this is the energy that you guys will be embodying in the month of December, that you will be the emperor of your own life, basically, in the month of December, which is very exciting. So let's put our emperor here to the side. We're going to put him here by the deer, and let's go ahead and get into it. Actually, maybe I can stand him up. I've got some stands here too. Maybe we'll put him back here. I still want to see if I can get him in view. Just everything's a little different for me here now because I'm not at home. So I'm like, I don't know how to set things up. All right, so let's see what you guys got. All right, first up, I'm just going to put these here and just draw them as I go. All right. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. What a beautiful way to kick off this reading. It is the most wonderful time of the year. So whether you're suffering with COVID right now like me, or everything is going right in your world, the truth is there is something magical and joyful and beautiful about this time of the year that we don't experience the rest of the year. There's just like this switch that seems to go on for everybody. There is a sense of merriment, and that doesn't mean that it cancels out our problems or that things suddenly become easier or that all of our problems just disappear. It doesn't mean that at all. We very much may still struggle. We may even struggle more, but it's like there's something about the sense of miracles being in the air. It's like there's a heightened awareness where there's more possibilities for possibilities is what it comes down to than there usually is any other time of the year. It's like even if we're suffering and struggling, we can find the joy in the midst of our mess. It's like we can find that one sparkling piece of something, even in a pile of like dog poop, basically. As weird as that sounds. So I feel like Spirit is definitely saying, like, focus on what brings you joy. Focus on the good things. Focus on what makes you happy during this time of the year. Even if things aren't all going right, focus on what is going right. Focus on what you have to be grateful for and thankful for. You know, maybe you don't have any like real friends or family, but maybe you have a dog that loves you and is loyal to you. And that's a huge sparkle of your heart right there. You know, maybe you're struggling to pay your bills, but you still have a roof over your head. And, you know, that's definitely better than having no roof or having a tent or something like that. So there's always something to be joyful for. There's always something to be thankful for. So definitely celebrate those happy moments. Even if it seems silly, even if it sounds stupid, like that's okay. That's all right. This is the time of the year to get into our childlike heart and to remember those things. Okay, stay. Stay card. Oh, this is like not... Okay, it's so... Maybe I should just lay this down. There. All right. I'll lay it down. Like... Told you I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, we have Deck the Halls. So Deck the Halls is all about decorating. It's all about decorating, getting ready for the season. Obviously, we have a girl here who is hanging an ornament on the tree. And I feel like this may be a suggestion from Spirit as how to get into the holiday spirit, as how to get into that feeling of the most wonderful time of the year. It's hard to do that if your apartment or your house or, you know, wherever you're living, even just like the room that you have, if it just looks like how it normally does the rest of the year. That doesn't mean that you have to go overboard. That doesn't mean that you have to decorate like Buddy the Elf or something like that. But just like the smallest of things can make it feel a million times more cozy and festive. Like look at me, for example. I'm not even at home right now. I am at my mom's, and that's not to say that my mom's doesn't have Christmas decorations out, because we do. I have a Christmas tree right behind me right now in the bedroom I'm sleeping in. There's a bigger Christmas tree out in the living room, obviously. We have Christmas lights on outside. You know, there's Christmas decorations everywhere. But I wanted to bring a few touches of my own from home. You know, the Christmas ornaments, for example. Like, this is from my own tree at home in Colorado, and I brought it with me because I wanted to use it as a part of my readings and stuff. So, you know, every single ornament that I brought with for this pick a card reading is from my own tree at home. You know, the pink garland, that's mine from home. You know, this deer here, he's from home. Like, all that stuff. Like, this is all stuff that I brought with me to help with the ambiance because it makes me happy and it makes me feel good, and I feel like it helps make these readings a little bit more festive too, because my mom's desk, which is here, is definitely not the same energy or anything as my desk back at home when I do readings. So I wanted to bring a touch of that magic. So deck the halls. It could be like a small simple tree, like a small simple tabletop tree from Target or something, but just doing a little bit of something like that, just throwing that sparkle around, is definitely going to make a difference. It's going to help lift your spirits and just boost the energy, raise the mood of things. Rocking around the Christmas tree. So we have these 3 people who are celebrating and they're having a good time, and they look like they're at a Christmas party here, basically. That's what this card is all about. It's all about enjoying the season with other people, laughing, having fun, going to Christmas parties, that kind of thing. So if you do have social events coming up throughout the rest of this holiday season, this is definitely a nod to that. So if you have plans to go to a Christmas party, whether it's like at work or something like that, this is confirmation from Spirit saying, yeah, go enjoy those holiday parties, go have fun. And if you don't have plans to do that, Spirit may be nudging you to say like, hey, maybe this is something you should do, like get out of the house, socialize, meet some people, make some friends if you don't have them, kind of a thing. But yeah, this is definitely a nod to social activities, and just, once again, this is all like very high vibey kind of stuff, It kind of started off really strong here with it's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're decorating, we're getting ready, we're going to holiday parties, we're feeling confident about doing all these things, and we're feeling good about ourselves with that Emperor card. So this is all like super high vibe, positive energy, you guys. So if you're not feeling this, I feel like Spirit wants you to get into this. Like, Spirit doesn't want you to be a wet mop for the holiday season. So definitely, there's a lot of opportunity here for enjoyment and happiness throughout the holiday season. Magical miracles. I love this. I love this card. So once again, if you're someone who is not feeling this, and maybe you're feeling more like it's a blue Christmas, or you're feeling grinchy or something like that, Spirit is saying there's nothing to be down about. There's nothing to be depressed about. That there are miracles that surround you every single day. And, kind of goes back to what I said at the very beginning here with it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. One of the ways that we tap into that magic, that we tap into that happiness and that joy and feeling that it is the most wonderful time of the year, is recognizing the miracles that surround us. And that doesn't mean it has to be some huge miracle like, someone who was blind can suddenly now see or something. It can be something small. Small miracles happen every single day. You could wake up and instead of feeling sad, you could feel motivated to do something different with your day, to do something positive. A small miracle could be someone paying for you in the drive-through line who's ahead of you or something like that. Small miracles happen every day. It's important to take note of them. But yeah, I feel like you're going to be seeing some miracles happening this season. It could even be big stuff too. So, it's not to say like, oh, it's only the little things. No, it could be the big things as well. What is going on down here? Sorry, my chihuahua's acting weird. I think I'm going to have to like pause this in a minute. Because I have 2 chihuahuas. But the really little one, she's acting weird. Why are you acting weird? Mommy's trying to do reading for people. If it's not COVID, it's the dog. Okay, anyways, moving on, we have Do You Hear What I Hear? Communication. So, communication, that's a good thing. This is the card that's all about communication, obviously. So, I feel like if you haven't, sorry, I keep getting distracted by the dog. I feel like if you haven't heard communication from someone that maybe you have been desiring communication from, that communication could be coming in. It also could be spirit nudging you to reach out to communicate as well. Because I feel like far too often, readers in general will kind of like specify this whole thing of, oh, communication is coming. They're going to be reaching out to you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying that that's not possible and that can't happen. But I think sometimes we allow our pride and our ego to get in the way a lot of the times. And sometimes we need to be the one to reach out. Sometimes we need to be the ones to say, hey, I've been thinking about you. You're on my mind. How are you doing? And especially around the holiday season. I mean, this is the time of the year people send Christmas cards for a reason. This is the time of the year when you check on people and you say, hey, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Happy Hanukkah. I want to wish you a Happy Kwanzaa. I want to wish you a Happy Solstice. I want to wish you a Happy New Year, whatever it is. But it's that time of year to kind of like reconnect with people and say, I've been thinking about you. You've been on my mind. I want to make sure you're doing okay in your life. I'm reaching out because I care. And one thing that's always bothered me is the whole game of like, oh, you can't reach out. You have to lean back. Heaven forbid you show any authenticity and vulnerability by actually like showing you care by reaching out. Like, it's okay. It's okay to reach out. Like, don't be like an obsessive stalker weirdo, obviously. But if it's been a while and you haven't said anything and you want to talk to somebody, like, that's okay. Reach out. And what they do in response with that, the ball's in their court and that's up to them. But if you want to reach out, that's okay. Reach out. Maybe they'll reach out to you. But either way, communication is here. Someone's definitely got to be reaching out one way or another. We go through life way too much in terms of like just getting our pride, getting our ego in the way, and we don't communicate and we aren't vulnerable and we aren't our authentic self with others to truly share how we feel and not in like a, angry kind of way, not in a spiteful way, but in a way where we're truly like showing our hearts and, being vulnerable with maybe not only do I care about you, oh my gosh, Tinkerbell. With maybe not only do I care about you, but, this is how such and such might have made me feel or whatever. So yeah, communication is important, definitely, especially this time of year. Whether this is, with relatives or friends or coworkers or love interests, especially if things have been strained, it might be a good time for some healing and communication in that department, just in terms of working things out, because life is short, It's not worth all of this strife and everything. So yeah, communication's important here. I feel like it's definitely the key to some of the joy that you could possibly be ushering into your heart here this holiday season. Run, Rudolph, in a rush. So, Run, Rudolph, in a rush is definitely all about being in a hurry, being in a rush, not taking our time, wanting things to hurry up and happen a lot faster than we want them to. And I feel like this is especially in regards to your relationships during this holiday season, because, we do have the party here, celebrating with other people, and then we do have the communication. And I would say, savor it. Savor those moments. Savor those moments of celebrating with others. Savor those moments of communicating with people. Even if things are not completely conveyed all in like one lump thing, take your time. Take your time with things, especially with like this communication card. It may take several conversations. It may not all happen during the holiday season. It may be something that takes time, especially when it involves things like vulnerability and authenticity. Not everything can be wrapped up and tied up in a bow neatly and with a happily ever after within 2 hours like a Hallmark Christmas movie, as much as we would all love that to happen. So just take your time. Take your time with things. Savor the moment. Take your time to express what you have to say and do what you have to do, but also take your time in digesting and processing what's coming into you from others. I feel like that's equally important on both sides. I feel like there could be the temptation to kind of put the gas pedal on the situation when it does arise. But don't do that. Just take your time. Just enjoy. Just take your time. Take your time. Enjoy. Relax. There's no need to be in a rush. My only wish this year, Britney Spears. So we all know that song. Santa, can you hear me? I cannot sing with COVID. Anyways, but yeah, my only wish this year, this is all about making wishes. And that's what the season is about too, It's about dreaming big and making wishes. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to dream big. Ask yourself, if, I know this is going to sound silly, but if Santa were in front of you, like the real Santa, I don't mean like the mall Santa, think of like the spirit of the season Santa. If Santa were in front of you right now and you could get any wish, any dream, any hope or desire of your heart, what would that be? What would that look like? What would that feel like? What would that taste like? What would that smell like? How would that sound to you? So think about what is it that you're truly wishing and truly desiring, and don't be afraid to make that wish. And don't just wish it, but affirm it, write it down, believe it, trust it is what it comes down to. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is definitely tied to relationships. It could be healing a relationship with a family member. It could be healing a relationship with a friend. It could be a love-related situation. Just because, we have this celebration here, this party here going on, which is a social thing, which could be a lot of different social connections. And then we have that communication here. So what is the wish that you desire in terms of communication? What does that look like? What kind of communication do you want? What is it that you want to hear from this person? What is it that you want to say to this person? That's where the miracles are going to come in, and don't rush the process when it happens. All right, we have Noel. Reminders ring a bell. So this is about Spirit giving you reminders. Spirit is giving you reminders. So I feel like leading up to the holiday season, you've been getting reminders on this whole very situation in regards to keeping in mind that there's a lot of joy in the season, keeping in mind that miracles happen every day. Once again, when it comes down to relationships, especially, I feel like this is definitely a reminder here for you guys from Spirit. This is something that's been worked on for a long time, long before the holidays. And Spirit does have a few crystal recommendations for you to kind of help you navigate this, to kind of help you navigate the process. I feel like this is especially going to be helpful for you guys, once again, in relationships, but it'll probably help you throughout the entire holiday season. And the crystals for Christmas are moonstone, malachite, and ametrine. So you may want to get your hands on some of these guys if you don't already have some as it is. It'll probably be very helpful for you for the holiday season. And we have one last thing to wind things down here. And we have time for yourself, home alone. Yes, time for yourself, home alone. So basically, this card is basically a reminder to take time for yourself this holiday season. I mean, the great thing is that yes, you do have a lot of stuff going on here, relationship wise, with communicating with others, socializing, celebrating with others, considering what your dreams and desires are with that, but also just take some time for you. Like, we have a girl here who is sitting with a glass of wine and a plate of Christmas cookies in front of her Christmas tree, and she does not look sad about that. She looks happy about that. She looks excited to spend a night on her own, by herself, doing her own thing, doing her own holiday thing. So, do that for yourself, especially if you do wind up maybe feeling a little socially exhausted. If you do wind up going maybe a little overboard with the socializing and being around others aspect, just make sure you're taking some time to decompress and treat yourself and take care of yourself. It's like, it's Home Alone in a positive way. It's Home Alone in a good way, not like in a depressing way. It's Home Alone like when Kevin first realized that he was home alone in Home Alone. He was so excited. He was so happy. He was able to do whatever he wanted. It's that kind of energy. So definitely take some time to do that for yourself, like a healthy balance of time for yourself and time with others and communicating. And I feel like as long as things are kind of well-rounded in that regards, and balanced in that regards, you'll probably have a pretty successful overall holiday season. Definitely, I would say nothing here to be alarmed about, or nothing here that looks super negative. I feel like as a whole, you guys are going to have a very happy holiday season. And now she's crawling under the bed. Not you, my dog. She's being weird. I need to deal with her. But anyways, yeah, with this Emperor card here, kicking it off with the confidence, you guys are definitely going to have the confidence to embrace the most wonderful time of the year, embrace some communication, working things out, being vulnerable, being authentic in your connections, in your relationships of life, regardless of what area of life that's in. Enjoy that time of socializing. Look out for those little miracles. Take your time, enjoy it all, and get clear on what your desires are this holiday season. So overall, I would say that's very, very good. So I think you guys are going to have an awesome and delightful December. So hopefully that message resonates for you. If the message doesn't flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did resonate, drop me a comment down below, leave me a little emoji or something like that. I would definitely love to hear from you. And as always, you guys, give this video a big thumbs up. That definitely would mean a lot to me. And if I resonate with you as a reader, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe at this time. Hit that notification bell so that way then you will be up to date and in the know of more readings as they come along and as they happen, whether they're lives or pick a cards or whatever, what have you. Yeah. And once again, if I resonate with you as a reader, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. You can get your own personal reading there. I know. Hi, I hear you. I don't know why she's being so weird right now. I have to wrap this up and deal with her. My brain is like all congested with COVID. Anyway, I was saying, you guys, yeah, so if I resonate with you as a reader, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. You can find a whole bunch of different readings over there that you can definitely purchase for yourself, and I would be more than happy to help you on more of a one-on-one type of level with your own journey, of course. And if you also enjoyed this deck and you would like to own this deck for yourself, that is available for purchase as well over on shadowandshine.com in the shop section. You can find a magical Christmas to help make your own readings merry and bright this holiday season. Although, of course, I do recommend if you're going to buy it, I would get it earlier than later, simply because there is a decent shipping time on it if you want it in time by Christmas. So oracle decks, readings, all that stuff on my website. Anything you need to know on my website, shadowandshine.com. And if you're interested in joining the Patreon, link to the Patreon is down below as well. You can check out all the different tier levels, and I would love to have you over there as well and be a part of the community and enjoy there too. So now with all that said and done, I'm going to wrap this up, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much, especially with your patience with my COVID and my dog and everything else going on here. So I will talk to you guys another time. So yeah, I'm sending you lots of hugs from a distance with COVID and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. This is your December 2023 reading to find out what it is that you guys need to know for this month. And if you picked the Disneyland key, the key to Disneyland ornament, then obviously this is going to be the reading for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, let's get this Disney key right there. Keep it in view just because it's nice and it's gold and it's pretty. So of course we're going to be taking a look at a lot of cards here from my own oracle deck, A Magical Christmas. But before we dive into that, I did pull a tarot card for you guys for the month. And the tarot card comes from the TikTok Tarot, which this is all major arcana cards. So every group is going to have a major arcana card for their month of December. So the card that you guys got is the High Priestess. And I'm going to go ahead and read the descriptions that they have down for her below, which is wisdom, knowledge, learning, intuition, purity, virtue, and a teacher. So yes, she is a spiritual teacher. The High Priestess, in a lot of ways, she is someone who knows everything that's going on with everyone else because she is very intuitive. She is that highly intuitive. It's very much like moon energy, like mystic kind of energy. She is just in tune. She's very grounded. She just knows what's up. Someone doesn't have to say or do very much for her to know what's going on with that person. She's someone who can definitely read between the lines. So most likely you are that kind of person, and most likely that is something that is going to be heavily an influence for you in the month of December. The interesting thing about her, though, too, is even though she can read everybody else and she knows what's going on with everybody else, usually no one knows what's going on with her because she's also very mysterious. She doesn't put her life on blast. She's not telling everyone what she's up to all the time. She's someone who works in secrecy, someone who works in private, basically, someone who works behind the scenes. So, if anyone does know what's going on with her, it's definitely going to be a very select few people. She's definitely going to be choosy about that. So once again, this is probably an energy that you're going to be embodying throughout the month of December. So definitely you're going to be in High Priestess mode, which is pretty cool. There are definitely worse places you could be. So we're going to put our High Priestess over here. Kind of take note of her for the duration of the reading. I'm just going to scooch her up a little bit. It's been kind of hard to get a good adjustment here with the cards. Totally different setup, obviously. And now I'm just going to go ahead and start taking cards from the top of the pile here and put them down, and we will see what you guys have holiday-wise for December. So we have the 12 days of antics, and we have 3 very silly dogs wearing Santa hats in all different ways, and they just look silly and goofy is what it comes down to. So the fun thing about the 12 days of antics card is, sometimes people can associate antics as something negative, like, oh, antics, you're up to no good, stuff like that. But that's not the intention behind this card. The intention behind this card is antics is supposed to be seen in a very playful way, in a fun way, and almost kind of like maybe a little bit of teasing, a little bit of joking kind of way, a rambunctious and fun way. It's like youthful antics. It's like the silly and goofy kind of antics we would be up to as like kids or something. It's that kind of energy. So either you could be up to some antics, or someone may want to pull you into some antics over the holiday season, but it's a fun energy. It's a fun energy. So if there's this opportunity to be almost a little rambunctious, maybe even a little rebellious, like, it's okay. Like, just roll with it. Just have fun. 'Tis the season. Let loose. Enjoy the antics. Embrace them, like, even if you're the one who winds up being the joke in the end, like, embrace being the joke, laugh along with it rather than taking life so seriously. Now is not the time to be serious, is what it comes down to. Now is the time for laughter and shenanigans. So if you're up to shenanigans, enjoy them. Get up to some shenanigans. We also have enjoying traditions. So obviously the holiday season is the time of year that we enjoy certain traditions. So, if there are traditions that you have that are near and dear to your heart, you may be doing some of those over the holiday season. I know for myself, for example, when I was a kid, before my dad died, we had this tradition just between the two of us, between me and him. It was like a special daddy-daughter thing. We would take a horse carriage ride on Christmas Eve every year. And it's obviously been many years since we did that, but it is a tradition that is near and dear to my heart that I treasure to this very day. A lot of people go to like candlelight Christmas church services on Christmas Eve. That's a tradition for a lot of people. Maybe baking cookies or making a gingerbread house is a tradition for you. Maybe driving around and seeing Christmas lights is a tradition. That's a current, present-day tradition that I myself have. Me and my mom, there's a few different Christmas light displays we'll go and we'll see in the area. So everyone has their unique traditions, so embrace those. And if you don't have a tradition, that's okay. Maybe this is the year to create one, to create a new tradition. Maybe that tradition involves getting into some antics, who knows? But it's definitely going to be a time to be embracing and enjoying holiday traditions. New year, new you. So I know we are not at New Year's yet, obviously. This is supposed to be a December pick a card, not a January pick a card, but it seems like Spirit is talking a little bit about January already here, and at least wanting you to get into the headspace of considering it, thinking about it. So maybe Spirit wants to have you get like a leg up on this. That doesn't necessarily mean like, start a resolution or something like that right now, but Spirit may be asking you to think about, what are some things from 2023 that you would like to celebrate? What are some things from 2023 you would like to release and let go of? What are some much welcome and much needed changes you would like to see happen for you in 2024? What are some areas you can grow in? What are some areas in life that you would like more depth or more joy in, healing in? Just kind of like reframing the narrative in a sense, just preparing for that new year. Maybe now is the time to maybe start gathering ingredients, for example, if you wanted to make like a spell jar in the new year, or writing down some affirmations, just simply getting clear on how you want your 2024 to look. So I feel like Spirit is kind of giving you the nudge, like, hey, I know we just entered December. I know this isn't until the end of the month where you really have to think about this, but it may be a good idea to at least start considering it now. Which makes sense because just like astrologically speaking, things are going to be nuts. Like here going into the new year, like there's really going to be like no moment to pause. So it's like if you have a moment to pause to kind of gather that together now, that may actually be a good thing. Then we have Secret Santa. So Secret Santa, that's interesting. Obviously, traditionally, Secret Santa is obviously like, oh, someone's your Secret Santa. Here's your secret gift from this secret person who's going to be revealed to you, whatever. But this could be a secret gift coming your way. It could simply be a secret that's being hidden from you right now in general. It could be the hidden right now in general. Actually, it could be you who's hiding the secret right now in general, because it would be more the high priestess who would be hiding something than anything else. But I'm going to keep pulling cards and see if we can get any extra context onto what this secret may be. So we're just going to leave this guy here in the middle because I feel like more may be coming up yet in the reading to see exactly what our Secret Santa is here for. What is this secret all about? Who's holding on to the secret? Is it you? Is it someone in your life? What is the secret in reference to? We're going to find out. Feeling left in the cold. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like I'm getting a little bit of clarity here now on this. So, whenever we have a reading, a lot of the times people will be asking about other people or external situations happening in their lives. But most of the time, Spirit always likes to redirect it back to ourselves. That's what it always comes back to. Spirit always wants to have us consider what's happening within ourselves. What we think about it, how we can change it, how we feel about it, what we need to heal, all that kind of stuff, right? So the interesting thing is with this feeling left in the cold card, we started here with this high priestess, which I feel like the high priestess automatically is the energy of you guys. It's the energy of whoever is tapped into this reading right now. So if the high priestess is you, chances are you're the one who's probably hiding the secret. It's probably not someone hiding something from you. It's probably you keeping something from someone else. Because as I said at the beginning with the high priestess, she is very good at disguising, in a sense, who she is. She's very good at not fooling people on purpose, in a sense, but people have a hard time figuring her out, is what it comes down to, because she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve. So you could be busy enjoying certain traditions. You could be up to some antics with people that you know around you. But sometimes we can be, doing all the things. We can be like taking all the joyful holiday actions and still feel empty on the inside. Sometimes it still feels meaningless for whatever the reason may be. And I feel like for you guys, even if you are out there connecting with others and enjoying holiday traditions and stuff, there may be a part of you that still feels left out in the cold. There may be a part of you that feels sad. There may be a part of you that is grieving or has some kind of sorrow in your heart that you're still struggling with and that you're still dealing with, which is okay because we're human. And the holidays can bring up a whole array of different emotions inside of us. While it can bring up extreme emotions of euphoria and joy, it can also bring us extreme emotions of sadness and grieving, because a lot of the times around the holidays, you know, it is a time for spending time with loved ones. And for most people, they've probably lost somebody in their life at some point. And even if it's not recent, you know, it could have been years and years ago, but you could still be grieving for that person, thinking about the holidays and how that person is not there with you. And I know that that gets a lot of people down during the holiday season, is missing someone that should be there that isn't there. It's like, you know, you could be sitting around the table with a bunch of people, but there's still that empty chair for someone that should have been there. And I feel like that's usually at the core for a lot of people, is missing that certain person or that sense of belonging with your family, things like that. You know, even if you have all of your family, sometimes we grieve for the family we wish we could have had if we don't really get along with them, if we don't see eye to eye. I know this has been an issue for a lot of people within the past few years, especially with politics being like a dividing factor for a lot of families and stuff. So you could be feeling that way. You could be feeling left out. You could be feeling left in the cold. You could feel isolated and alone, even if you're surrounded by people, even if you're going through the motions of enjoying the traditions, even if you're, you know, laughing it up with the antics and everything. You could be feeling that way. And that could be the secret that you're holding on to and not letting others in on. I do have a couple more things to say on that, but I want to see what else comes through on the cards before I get into that. Ugly Christmas sweater contest. So, you know, it could be an actual contest. This could be, I feel like this is almost connected to the antics card, because, you know, Christmas sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters, they are so silly and they are so goofy, and they are definitely something humorous and comical, just like the 12 Days of Antics. So I feel like those two things may go hand in hand. If it's not a contest, maybe you'll be making an ugly Christmas sweater this holiday season. If you're not making an ugly Christmas sweater, you could be just like buying one, wearing one. But there's definitely some kind of connection here with an ugly Christmas sweater, which I feel like is, if anything, more so on the lighthearted side here, more on the fun side of things, which is pretty cool. We also have Snowball Fight. I feel like we got a lot of cards here kind of tapping into just like fun and shenanigans. You know, we have a group of people here and they're having a snowball fight, and not a single one of these people is mad or sad or upset. They're having a blast. They're having fun. They're just having fun and living it up. And, you know, maybe these are some of the traditions that you have. You know, we had enjoying traditions that came out earlier as well. So maybe one of your traditions is a snowball fight with your friends and family if there's snow that happens to accumulate. It could be wearing ugly Christmas sweaters together. It could be just doing anything random and silly and goofy and fun. But I feel like as a whole, you do have a lot of like brightness and silliness and goofiness and laughter. Like there's a lot of laughter kind of energy coming up here. And I feel like it's coming up from the people that surround you in your life. So there is laughter, there is light, there is love. But I do still kind of feel like there's kind of like this down energy of the secret being held in, that even though you're laughing, you're kind of crying at the same time. And I think it's interesting as we're continuing to pull cards, you know, we got all this goofy energy here with the Christmas sweater and the snowball fight and the antics. And I feel like Spirit is reminding you to laugh and have fun. That's not to say that how you feel isn't justified, you know, like if you're missing someone, or there's some part of your heart that's missing, or there's some part of you that's feeling left out, like that's justified, that's okay. But I feel like Spirit is definitely asking you to kind of like embrace that lighter side, embrace that laughter part of things, because it'll probably definitely help with the mood a little bit here. frost yourself. So we have this girl holding a necklace, and frost yourself is basically like treating yourself. It's like treating yourself with jewelry. It doesn't have to be jewelry, but it's definitely the energy of treating yourself. This may be something that you may want to look into if you are having one of those moments where you're feeling a little low, if you're feeling a little bit like, I'm feeling left in the cold, there's no one there for me, be there for yourself, treat yourself with something. Not that I recommend like going out and shopping or whatever as like the ultimate fix for things, because it's definitely is not, but it can be a nice little band-aid in the moment, I guess you could say. Tidings of travel joy. So either you could be traveling this holiday season, or someone may be traveling to see you this holiday season. So I would take this as it resonates, whichever way that makes sense for you, whether you are the traveler or you have a traveler coming your way. But, the holiday season is definitely a travel heavy time. That doesn't necessarily surprise me. And we have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. Aw, that's cute. A little kissy action there. So I know we didn't really get very much here in regards to romance, but I think that definitely is a hint that there could be an open door, an open space there for a little bit of love and a little bit of romance in your life. If that's the area that you've been feeling blue in, that maybe you're feeling a little left in the cold in, because like, if everything else is going well for you with like friends and family and everything else in your life where, you're having those snowball fights, you're wearing those Christmas sweaters, you're enjoying traditions together, you're, having fun and up to like jokes and playful times and everything, but maybe the thing that is the missing ingredient, maybe the thing that you're feeling a little blue about is your love life. Maybe you just wish that you had a partner to go through that with, because I know that's another common thing that happens a lot during the holidays too. It's like you could be surrounded by couples or surrounded by families, and you're the only single one, and you want to have a family, you want to have a significant other. It could be a reference into that too, a feeling blue in that regards. I understand. I've been there myself. That could be the secret as well that you're keeping as the high priestess. But with that Meet Me Under the Mistletoe card here, though, I feel like that opportunity is there. And even if there's not like a person of interest in your life where that could happen as of this moment, that doesn't mean that person can't come at some point. Anything is possible. It's a season of miracles. Maybe you'll have your own little Hallmark holiday Christmas movie this year and like meet a cute farmer or something and decide to move from the big city. Who knows? But there is that opportunity for love and romantic love and just, something sweet and cute and endearing. So I feel like that's definitely possible. And, like I said, this card here, I definitely, after seeing the rest of the other cards come through, I definitely feel like this is definitely your secret that you're withholding from everyone, that you're feeling this. And the only other thing I have to say to that feeling left in the cold card is, if you are feeling that way, I understand as the high priestess protecting yourself and not wanting to burden others and wanting others to enjoy their holiday season as well. And that's totally respectable. And I'm not saying you have to go and blast it and put it all over the place and put it in everyone's business that you're feeling a little blue this holiday season. But what I would recommend is talk to someone that you trust. Talk to someone that you love and trust, and someone that has your back and loves you just as much in return. It could be a best friend. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a cousin. It could be a coworker if you're really close to your coworkers. But just someone that has your back. And I would just talk to at least one person, just one person about that. Because I definitely think that'll make a difference just in terms of lightening the weight on you. And that person may even have some advice or some way that they may be able to relate and help you out through that. So that's just one little extra tidbit I would definitely throw in there as well, if this is something that you're feeling and experiencing. But otherwise, try to embrace the antics and the shenanigans and the traditions and all the fun times. Treat yourself. Maybe that person who's coming in to visit you is going to be that romantic person. Who knows? Or maybe you're going to go see them, whichever the case may be. But, there's a lot of good stuff happening here in this reading. There's understandably a little bit of struggle, because I feel like a lot of people experience this during the holidays, but I feel like it's nothing that you guys can't work through. It's nothing that you guys can't overcome in order to give yourself the best Christmas season that you could possibly embrace and enjoy. So that's basically the reading that I have for you guys for your December 2023 reading. And if the message didn't flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did resonate, now you know. As always, you guys, before we wrap this up, I would ask you to just give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out a lot here on YouTube. And if I do resonate with you as a reader, now would be the time I invite you to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, so that way then you are up to date on any new readings that wind up coming your way, whether they're pick-a-cards or live readings or, just any news, any updates. It'll be on your way first and foremost if you click that notification bell. And drop me a comment down below, even if it's just a simple small emoji. I would love to hear from you. Finally, also, if I resonate with you guys as a reader, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. If you are interested in your own personal reading, there's a variety of readings there that you guys can check out. I would love to assist you on a more one-on-one type of level on your journey. Without the coughing, I promise. Not every reading is going to be like this. It's just me pushing through COVID right now. Also, if you enjoyed this deck, and if you are interested in owning this deck for yourself, once again, head over to my website, shadowandshine.com. You can take this bad boy home for yourself, and order it for you. I would definitely recommend ordering it sooner than later if you want to get it before Christmas, just because it does take like a couple of weeks for it to go through in terms of it being made and delivered, because these are made on delivery demand, basically. So if you do want one, like I said, I would get one sooner than later. But you can find this as well as my other Oracle decks over on my website as well. And finally, if you guys want to join the Shadow and Shine family over on Patreon, aside from my website, link to Patreon is down below in the description box as well. And you can head on over to Patreon and join the community over there. It's an awesome community, and I would love to have you. So that is basically it, you guys. I appreciate you so incredibly much, and of course your patience as I have been trying to navigate this without hacking up all kinds of crazy mucus through this reading. Now I gotta take a small break before I do the next pile so I can have a moment to breathe. But anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful and magical and wonderful December. Of course, as always, I am sending you lots of hugs from a distance without COVID and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the Buddy the Elf ornament, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear, then this is going to be your December 2023 reading to find out what is going on, what you guys need to know for December. All right. So, we're obviously going to get into the bulk of the reading here with my own Oracle deck, A Magical Christmas. But before we do, I do have a tarot card for you guys for this month. And this comes from the TikTok Tarot. And the TikTok Tarot, it's nothing but major arcana. So every group is getting a major arcana tarot card to kind of tap into the energy, see what the energy is as a whole for this month. And the major arcana card that you guys got is Justice. All right, so let me read the description they have underneath it for Justice. They have for Justice harmony, balance, equality, righteousness, honor, advice, a considerate person. I like that. I really like their last description there at the very end for Justice, a considerate person. How beautiful is that? Simply because I feel like, especially in today's society, we live in a world where people are so inconsiderate and people are so mean and so nasty to each other for absolutely no reason. You know, it's like people can just cut each other off in traffic and flip each other off and scream at each other. And, you know, it's like, oh, your opinion is different than mine, so that means that, like, you're going to go to hell. And, like, people are just so mean to each other for no reason. It's okay to have differences. It's okay to think differently. It's okay to dress differently. It's okay. As long as you're not actively hurting yourself or someone else, like, it's okay. We don't have to be mean and nasty to each other. So I think it's beautiful this card says a considerate person, because I feel like that describes you. For every single group so far, the card that has come through in the major arcana describes the person who is viewing this video. So I feel like whoever's looking at this right now, you are a considerate person. You're a kind person. You do unto others as they do unto you. You wouldn't dream of being mean and nasty to somebody on purpose. You have a good heart. You're a good-hearted person. And I feel like sometimes you may not always necessarily see the fairness and the justice of the world done right by you. But I feel like in December that might turn around, because justice is about wrongs being righted. Justice is about fairness. Justice is about equality. So you could be seeing some things turn around in your favor if things haven't been in your favor lately. So, yeah, that's a beautiful energy. And I mean, like, look at the woman on this card. She looks so happy. And you know why she's happy? She's a considerate person. It goes a long way, I'm telling you. Okay, so we're going to put our Justice card right here. Kind of keep her hanging out here in the background for reference as we need her. And I'm just going to put the rest of the cards right here and pull from the top, and let's see what's coming through for you guys. So we have a festive photo shoot. So those are always fun. You may be up for doing a festive photo shoot this holiday season. It's funny. I think of myself with this card because I was originally going to take my 2 chihuahuas to go see Santa this year and do a photo shoot with Santa. We have matching pajamas, all 3 of us, and I thought that would have been a lot of fun to do like a matching pajama photo shoot at the mall with Santa, and we're not going to do that now because of the mysterious dog respiratory disease that's going around. So I'm not going to do that now. We're still going to do the photo shoot. We're just going to do it here at home. So you may be doing something similar like that yourself, whether it's with your dogs like me, or your family, or your friends, whether it's like going to go see Santa, or maybe at a Christmas light display or something. But that's always something fun to do. Definitely a fun little festive activity. So yeah, fun festive photo shoot. Nuttier than a fruitcake. Okay, this one's a fun one. So yeah, nuttier than a fruitcake, a little bit of the crazy. So, I feel like this holiday season, considering we started out here with justice and the whole considerate person thing, I feel like this is almost like twofold. I feel like you may think other people are crazy for not being considerate, for not being kind to each other, which I would understand because I feel that way too. Like, I don't understand people who just cannot be like kind and decent to one another. So you may think similarly in the same way that that's just like nuttier than a fruitcake. And on the flip side, other people may think that you're nuttier than a fruitcake for being a decent person, for being a considerate person, especially if you're around other people who maybe aren't as evolved, if you're around other people who really are not like consciously aware of themselves and things like that. Like, people who are not consciously aware typically only think of themselves. And they are typically the ones who get into that position of not being kind and not being a decent person. So the people on the flip side, on the other side, may think that you're crazy for like being a decent person. Like, for example, going back to like the someone cutting you off in traffic thing, because that's like one of the most basic things I feel like everyone experiences. Like, you could be in the car with someone who maybe isn't as spiritually evolved, and let's say someone cuts you off, and you know, you probably put on the brakes and stop yourself, slow down, whatever it is, and recover fine from it. But you're probably the kind of person who's going to let it go, and you're not going to let that ruin your day, because you're going to know that there are bigger, more important things going on in the world than that one random person who cut you off. And maybe the person sitting next to you thinks you're nuttier than a fruitcake for not like honking your horn and screaming and yelling back at that person. And they're like, are you kidding? Like, you should, honk your horn, you should flip them off and all this other stuff. And you're probably like, no, it's not worth it, I'm going to let it go. And that person could be seeing you as nuttier than a fruitcake. So I think it goes like on both ways, just because each side of the street looks at things so incredibly differently. So that could be something that you could be experiencing this holiday season. The naughty list. Interesting. Now, you, as the considerate person, you are not on the naughty list. I can tell you that much. But I feel like the people who have been inconsiderate, the people who have been the bullies, the people who have been the meanies, basically, the people who are not the decent people, I feel like this is basically Spirit saying they're on the naughty list. Karma knows where they live. Karma has their number. Just because they've been doing shady shit and doing things they shouldn't have been doing doesn't mean that they're not going to get caught. That doesn't mean it's not going to catch up with them. And this could be where justice is going to be served. That those people are on the naughty list and something not so good is going to be coming their way. So I feel like this is definitely tapping into that justice energy that, the nice people on the nice list do get the nice things. The naughty people on the naughty list get some not so wonderful things. So I feel like it's definitely kind of a sentiment tapping into that energy. Snow flaking off. Oh my gosh. I feel like we're really tapping in to this inconsiderate person's energy. Now, this could be someone specific in your life, because I think it's really interesting. We're starting off here with this very nice and pleasant energy of the considerate person for justice. And yet, we're getting someone who's a little nuttier than a fruitcake coming through, who's on the naughty list. And this is one of the reasons that they're on the naughty list, is they are snow flaking off. This is someone who flakes off. This is someone who basically does not take ownership. They do not take responsibilities for their actions. This could be someone who gaslights you. This could be someone who is a narcissist and, if anything, tries to flip the switch and do the reversal, is what it comes down to, and put the blame on you. Maybe they try to make you seem like you're nuttier than a fruitcake when you're really not, is what it comes down to. So I feel like you may be dealing with somebody like that over the holiday season. I don't know if this is like a romantic partner or a family member or a friend. Either way, it's not exactly the best of feeling is coming from this person. But once again, if they have been up to no good in your life, Spirit knows it, just like Santa knows it. They're probably on the naughty list. Win or lose reindeer games. So in a lot of ways, I don't know who this person is. I really don't. I don't know who this person is that's coming through for you. But I feel like your connection to this person, your relationship to this person, it feels like a game to them, is what it comes down to. It's like you're Rudolph and they're all the other reindeer. They're all the other reindeer just like making fun of you and not letting you play with them and excluding you. And I feel like that's where a lot of this injustice has been felt lately. Like, you've been left out, you've been made fun of. Think about the story of Rudolph. Like, there was a lot of injustices that were done to him until he, was finally recognized by Santa to save the day and everything, and, take his sleigh out on Christmas Eve. Justice did eventually come for Rudolph, and I feel like justice is going to come for you, but I feel like that this is nothing but a game. This is nothing but a game to this person who is on the naughty list, who is, flaking off and not stepping up and not taking ownership. A lot of their true intentions are coming through here, which may be revealed more so through the month of December. You make every day feel just like Christmas. Interesting. So, that's obviously a Jonas Brothers song. You make every day feel just like Christmas. I cannot sing with COVID. Anyway, so that's that Jonas Brothers Christmas song. And I mean, that's a happy song. It's a song about, like somebody else making, their hearts feel full, like it's full of Christmas spirit, full of Christmas joy. Now, to me, this kind of tells me that this connection here of this person who's flaking off, who's on the naughty list, who's playing games with you, it's likely a romantic connection. And the reason why I say that is if you make every day feel like Christmas for this person, it's kind of like that romantic vibe. I feel like in the moments when they're trying to win you over, I feel like in those moments when they're trying to hide their narcissism, I feel like that's when they kind of like do the love bombing on you and the compliments and just like buttering you up by kind of giving you that overall feeling of, oh, you make every day feel like Christmas. You make every day feel wonderful. But then, of course, later on, they flip the switch on you with the reindeer games and, flaking off and all this other kind of stuff. So I would be careful with that. It's a nice feeling, of course. I'm not going to say that's not a nice feeling, but it may not be coming from a genuine place, just given the other stuff that's already kind of come through here. It's a very mixed energy. Okay, going overboard this Christmas vacation. So once again, I feel like we're tapping into this other person's energy. We have Clark Griswold here. He goes overboard. He's a bit extra when it comes to Christmas. He's trying to make everything perfect, is what it comes down to. And it's like he almost kind of loses the sense of what Christmas really means and what Christmas is really about. He doesn't really grasp that until the end of the movie. But in the meantime, he's trying to do all these other, I don't want to say that they're empty things to do, because they're things that a lot of us do during the holiday season, whether it's getting the perfect tree or decorating the house or making the perfect Christmas dinner or whatever it is. But, you know, a lot of those things can be shallow and hollow and empty if your motives are not in the right place in it. And for him, his motives were originally not in the right place. His motives were doing those things so he could have the perfect Christmas, which obviously did not happen. And it wasn't until the end, when his home was basically raided by the cops and completely destroyed and everything else, it wasn't until the very end that he realized, he was just like, you know what? It's not about the perfect tree. It's not about the perfect turkey dinner. It's not about all this other stuff. It's about the people who are with me. It's about my family, is what it comes down to. It took him a while to get it, the whole movie to get it, but he finally got it. And I feel like in this case with this person, it's like their motives aren't straight. They're trying to, you know, be extra and do like all these overboard things, all these overboard shenanigans that they really don't need to do. That's kind of making them a little nuttier than a fruitcake, like Clark Griswold. And they really don't have to do all of that. I feel like maybe if this person was a little bit more vulnerable, if this person was a little bit less showy and flashy, not interested in playing the games, you know, even the festive photo shoot, like, yes, that can be fun, but that can also be like a gesture of that showiness. I feel like if that person kind of like calmed down off of that and got into the true emotions of your relationship and your connection and the meaning of all that through the season, this might look a lot differently. But this person isn't really considering that right now. It's like that person is kind of caught up more so in the commercialization of the holiday season, more so than the true meaning of it. And when you're stuck in that commercialization aspect of it, the less evolved version of it, you're not going to be as considerate. That has a lot more of like the I'm wrestling you down on Black Friday for a big screen TV than giving back to the poor kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the energy we're tapping into here with this person, which is, like I said, it's so different from your energy, because I feel like your energy is here, that considerate person, that person who's about fairness and equality and justice. And whoever this person is, this is someone who's close in your life. It's definitely someone who's close in your life, possibly a romantic partner or a romantic interest here. And you guys are just not aligned right now. You guys are just not, it's just not aligned. What else do we have here? More than chestnuts on the fire. Panic. So this is anxiety. This is straight up anxiety here. Like we have a guy here who just looks like he's under pressure and he's stressed out. So I feel like this is the overall energy of not only the month of December, but especially this connection here, this relationship. It brings a lot of stress. It brings a lot of anxiety. To me, it's not necessarily a connection that is worth entertaining or worth having in your close-knit circle, is what it comes down to. But that's just me. I mean, me personally, I'm the kind of person where it's just like, if it's causing me this much stress and anxiety, I'm going to love myself more to walk away from something like this. Like, I don't need this in my life. But that's just me. Every person's every person's threshold of bullshittery is a little bit different. And maybe this is something that you want to push through, and maybe this is something that you want to work through. And if you do, no judgment to you at all. That's totally your business. But it's definitely something that is going to be a hindrance and impact your December greatly. It is going to make for an anxiety-ridden, pressure-filled December, which is not exactly fun. You guys, I can't make this up. I keep hoping that a better card is going to come through, and I swear you guys are getting all the chaotic ones from this deck. Merry Madness and Mayhem. We have a woman who is pulling her hair out of the skull of her head. She may look festive. There may be a Christmas background behind her. She may be wearing red and looking like a holiday elf. But she's losing her mind. She's going crazy. Once again, it's very similar energy to this high anxiety, panic kind of mode. You guys, the justice here, I feel like, is releasing this person. like I feel like entertaining and being in this connection, that's what's nuttier than a fruitcake. What's nuttier than a fruitcake is staying in this connection, staying in something that feeds this kind of energy. You guys deserve better than that. You guys deserve justice. You are a considerate person who deserves other people around you who consider you. Not someone who's going to be flaking off. Not someone who is going to be striving for perfection and playing games and who is clearly on the naughty list because they don't have the best intentions. Ugh, okay, we've only got one left. We've only got one left here. Let's hope that this is something positive. I don't know. Stuck at Santa's workshop. So this could be another contributing stressor for you guys outside of this connection. But this is basically someone who is stuck at work during the holiday seasons. So this could be you. This could be you, especially if you're someone who works in retail, for example. I feel for all the retail workers this time of year because I know you guys are just like worked to the bone and get very little in return for it and get way more frustration and hassle than anything else. So I feel for you guys if you're a retail person, but even if you're not, it seems like definitely work is going to be a big demand out of you this holiday season, which I think is just going to, once again, contribute to any panic. It's going to contribute to any mayhem you're feeling. So it seems like work could be a contributing factor here with the stress and pressure as well. And if the romantic connection doesn't line up, then I feel like this person who could be gaslighting you and maybe a bit of a narcissist could even be the boss. It could be your boss. It could be whoever is keeping you at work. And maybe their version of you make every day feel like Christmas is like those rare moments when they basically praise you as a worker and they're just like, oh, but we need you because of blah, blah, blah. So it could be that if it's not a romantic thing, this could be the energy of a very toxic boss. But either way, it is a toxic connection, whether it's a toxic boss, a toxic partner. This is some just, this is just some not so fun energy coming from somebody. And like I said, I don't feel like it's you guys who's this energy. I feel like it's somebody in your life. It's someone where the entire situation is nuttier than a fruitcake is what it comes down to. But going back to that justice card in the very beginning, I feel like you guys are that considerate person. And I got to be honest with you. I can't say that you're going to see justice in this situation necessarily in December because this is a lot of chaotic energy. I feel like it's possible for this to change, of course. I feel like if you continue to be a considerate person, if you don't allow this to get you down, especially if you establish boundaries, it doesn't matter whether it's a boss or a personal relationship or anything else. I feel like if you establish boundaries, that's going to make a big difference in terms of you receiving your justice here, in terms of you receiving fairness and equality back to you. You got to love yourself, and part of that is putting down boundaries. Even if that's scary, even if your voice shakes while you're doing that, I feel like that's going to make a very big difference here. So I feel like if you guys do that, you are going to get better treatment in return. There is going to be a blessing. There is going to be a gift on the other side of that, but you're not going to receive that unless you do your part in standing up for yourself. And you deserve that because you are a good person. And that's the biggest takeaway here that I really hope you guys remember from this reading. Like, you may be dealing with someone who's super shitty here. This is a shitty person. This is a shitty situation. It's toxic. I don't know who this person is, but I don't like them. But I like you. And I know that you have a good heart. And I want you to remember that. So, it's hard. People with the good hearts often feel like they get the shaft a lot of the times in life. But I promise you, you're not going to get the shaft. I promise you that having that good heart, it does pay off in the long run. You may see it pay off later than other people who are up to no good, but you will see it pay off. So the overall takeaway here is this is going to be a challenging month for you guys. But I want you guys to please keep being the amazing and wonderful person that you are and establish those boundaries, because there's going to be a good payoff for you guys in the end. It may not happen until January, but you guys can get through this. There are always positives here. And, even if a reading comes out as being more on the challenging side, like this one definitely was, I want you guys to focus on what you can do, focus on what you can control, focus on the positives and the good things. I think it's really interesting that if you chose this group, you chose the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear, because I feel like you guys are probably the group that needs that Christmas cheer the most right now. So definitely take that. Sing some Christmas music. If that's going to bring some of that Christmas cheer, go for it. Do it. Anyways, that's basically the message that I have here for you guys. If the message didn't flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did resonate, now you know. And if I resonate with you guys as a reader, if you enjoyed this reading, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And when you do, make sure that you hit the notification bell, because when you hit that notification bell, you will be up to date on any and every new reading that comes your way here on this channel, whether it's a live reading or a new pick a card reading or what have you. Also, you guys, please do me a solid and give this video a thumbs up. That definitely helps me out a lot here on my channel as I'm getting through this COVID. And drop me a comment down below too. Even if it's just a simple emoji, I would love to hear from you. And also, you guys, if I resonate with you as a reader and you want to deep dive further, more so into things for yourself personally, I invite you to head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. There's a variety of readings over there that you guys can choose from. And I would love to assist you on more of a one-on-one type of basis in your own personal journey over there with the reading. And if you also enjoyed this deck, I know you guys got a lot of some of the not so much fun cards here, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of cards, both good and bad, in this deck. But if you do enjoy this Oracle deck, A Magical Christmas, that is over on my website as well in the shop. So you can find that, as well as my 2 other Oracle decks that I welcome you guys to go on ahead and check out as well. And finally, if you guys want to be a part of the Shadow and Shine family over on Patreon, my Patreon, that link is down in the description down below, as well as my website. And I invite you to head on over to Patreon and join, sign up, be a part of the fam. And it's a great community, and I would love to see you guys over there. So that's pretty much what I have going on for you guys. Aside from all the chaos going on here, I truly do wish you guys a beautiful and blessed December. May it be filled with more delightful and wonderful, amazing surprises than anything else, to just bring you lots of joy and love all holiday season long. I am sending you guys lots of hugs from a distance, of course, COVID, and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, pile 4. If you chose the pink Starbucks cup ornament, then this is going to be the reading for you for your December 2023 pick a card reading. To find out what is on deck for you, what is happening for you. All right, let's put our little Starbucks guy over here and let's get into it. So I'm going to put our Christmas oracle cards right here for a minute, and we're going to start off with your tarot card. Now, every group got a TikTok tarot card for this round, and the TikTok tarot is only major arcana, so every group has a major arcana card. And your guys' major arcana card this month is the Hierophant. Very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and read the descriptions that they have for the Hierophant down below. And the Hierophant reads as a need to conform, social approval, bonded to the conventions of society. Interesting. Usually when I read the tarot, and especially the major arcana, that's usually not how I normally interpret the Hierophant. I usually interpret the Hierophant as our beliefs and our values, our morals, things like that. Now, obviously, our beliefs and our values can be rooted in social and cultural programming. It can definitely be rooted in how we're raised, but I also believe that our values and our beliefs and our morals can change and grow and develop over time, as we grow and develop over time, as we have different life experiences and things like that. So, while it definitely can be about conforming to societal norms, if that's our desire, if that's what we want to do, or if that's just where we feel pressured to be and we don't evolve past that, I don't feel like it has to be societal norms or conforming to societal norms. If anything, I feel like societal norms, just as a whole on a collective scale, are truly being revamped, are truly being redefined, redeveloped. But there's really been a breakdown in terms of society and how that really looks nowadays for everyone with everything in life, whether it's finances or how we do our jobs or our choices in terms of families and whether or not to have them, and if we do, how we raise them, and different things like that. I feel like a lot of that is definitely evolving and changing greatly. So those types of situations could be on deck for you throughout the month of December. It's possible you could feel that societal pressure during the month of December. A lot of the times, like when we have family gatherings and stuff, you have like that crazy aunt or uncle who are just like, oh, so are you seeing anyone? What are you doing for a living these days? How much money are you making? If you are seeing someone, it's going to be like, when are you going to get married? If you're married, it's going to be, when are you going to have babies? You know, like that kind of stuff. So you could be experiencing maybe some of the pressure involving those types of themes throughout the month of December, especially around family. But you know, let's dive into the rest of the cards here and see what comes through. But that's definitely an interesting twist here. We're getting started with for the month of December with that Hierophant. Okay. So I'm just going to put the cards right here behind our trusty little Starbucks ornament. And your first card is Merry Makeover. So this is interesting because we did have that Hierophant come through. And while you could take this to be quite literal in terms of a makeover, it could be quite literally, maybe you're going to go get your hair done, your makeup done, maybe you're going to go get a new outfit, maybe you're going to go get your nails done, whatever it is. It could be that quite literally, and if it is, awesome, embrace it, very cool, very fun. But I feel like more so this is about an internal makeover. I feel like if you are dealing with societal pressures, if you are dealing with pressure maybe coming in from family members and things like that, you could be going through an internal makeover, reevaluating and asking yourself, what do I value? What are my beliefs? What do I think of this? How do I feel about this? Rather than embracing other people's ideals, you may be figuring out what the ideals are for you and what you want for yourself in your life, not what, you know, Aunt Susie wants for your life or Grandma Sally or I don't even know why I keep using S names, but you know what I mean. Uncle Billy Bob, whoever. So you may be really like evaluating that is what it comes down to. You may be going through an internal makeover. It may be a very introspective type of time for you. And you know, that goes not just for like how you want to live your life. Like when it comes down to that kind of stuff, I know a lot of people also go through deconstruction. There are a lot of people who have been going through religious deconstruction, especially going through different things with their family. So it could be something like that as well that you might be going through over the holiday season. Getting blitzed. So if you are around people who are kind of challenging your beliefs and your values and your morals and how you want to live your life, you may feel this temptation. You may feel this temptation to just like get blitzed, just to drink it away, just to like numb it and be just like, I can't deal with these people anymore. I cannot deal with these family members. Just like give me all the alcohol. So this could be a temptation here. I'm going to say try not to fall into that temptation, but definitely no judgment if it happens because, hey, we all have our coping mechanisms. I would say just don't make a habit out of it. Blue Christmas. So there's a possibility that going through this, especially if you're going through that internal makeover, because internal makeovers are not as fun and not as glorious and glorifying as the external makeovers, right? They're usually a lot more of a struggle, and they're usually something that other people on the outside don't see us going through. You know, it's like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly type of thing. It's that moment where you're just like a complete liquefied goo of a mess on the inside, but you're not that butterfly just yet. And you guys could be going through that over the holiday season, and it could make you feel kind of blue. It can make you feel sad, especially if you haven't quite figured it out yet for yourself, what you believe. If you haven't quite figured out for yourself yet what it is you value, if you haven't quite figured out for yourself yet where you stand on certain things, it could leave you feeling kind of blue. And honestly, there's no harm in not knowing. Like, that's a part of the process. that's one of the many different phases to go through. And you wouldn't be human if you didn't experience that. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not have it all figured out. You will get it figured out. And you'll get it figured out in your own time, in your own way, when the time is right. So don't put pressure on yourself if you don't have it figured out yet for yourself. Be kind to yourself through this process. Love yourself through this process, especially if you're not feeling that love externally from other people. Someone's got to love you. So definitely love yourself through this. And hey, if no one else is there to tell you that they love you and that what you believe in and what you value isn't worthy, I'm going to tell you right here, right now, coming from me, just coming from my little old heart here to your little old heart there, I'm just going to tell you right now that you matter, what you believe in matters, what you value matters, even if no one else around you agrees with that. And that, and that I love you. I love you and appreciate you. I don't have to know you to know that you are worthy and you are valued and you are worth being here on this planet. So don't let it get you down. Feeling blue is understandable, but don't let it get you down. Because that makeover in the end is going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to be the most gorgeous butterfly. And don't allow that societal conditioning and that societal pressure to destroy you, is what it comes down to. You may be feeling a lot of that this holiday season, but you'll figure it out. And even if you do know where you stand, even if you do know exactly what your beliefs are, exactly what your values are, sometimes it can be hard just stepping up into that confidently and embracing that and stating that difference, especially if it is so vastly different and so vastly unaccepted from those around you who are friends and family. It can be really hard to be that black sheep. It can be really hard to be the odd one out in a sense, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't step into who you really are. You need to embrace that authenticity, is what it comes down to. Don't just disservice yourself by not doing that. So yeah, it may be a little bit of a challenge, but let's see what else we have going on here. Heartwarming hot chocolate. So we have 3 different people coming together, and they're saying cheers and they're clinking their mugs of hot chocolate together. And I feel like this is saying that even if there are some people in your life who don't get it and who don't understand, I do feel like there are people out there who do understand, that's where you need to go. You need to go to your tribe of people, your group of people who do get it. So, if you're deconstructing from Christianity, for example, and maybe you can't be around your conservative, evangelical family or something, but maybe you have a group of, leftist, spiritual, awakened-minded people that these are the people you're going to have those heartwarming connections with. These are the people that you're going to ultimately find as your soul family. They may not be by blood, but they're still family. And I feel like there are connections out there for you that you are going to find, that you are going to be able to relate to. And these are the connections that you need to foster. These are the connections that you need to cultivate this holiday season, rather than the stuff where it feels like you have to be confined and you have to conform to something. Go where you are loved and you are celebrated and you are appreciated for being you, not where you feel like you have to behave a certain way or act a certain way in order to fit in. Go where you're loved, appreciated, and accepted, because those people definitely do exist. Wandering in a winter wonderland. So we have a girl here who, has this very pensive expression on her face, and she's just kind of lost in thought, and she's thinking about things, and she's in a winter forest, basically. And I feel like this may be the energy that you guys may be in a lot over the holiday season. simply because you guys will be deconstructing a lot of stuff. Even if it's not like religious deconstruction, you could be just like deconstructing a lot of ideals and a lot of just like societal things that may have been put upon you in a lot of different ways. You just may be kind of reframing and thinking over a lot of different stuff. And I don't feel like that wondering is a bad thing. I feel like, if anything, it's a way of expanding your mind. It's a way of seeing different perspectives in a new light. Questioning things is not a bad thing. You'll be questioning things, but also I feel like you'll be getting answers at the same time. So, that's okay. Ask the questions, ask the deep questions, ask the hard questions, because those are the questions that are worth asking. Those are the questions we're going to get the most worthwhile answers, not the fluffy stuff, not just, the easy stuff or whatever. So that's okay. Ask the difficult stuff. Manifesting with frankincense and myrrh. So this is kind of like the witchy woo-woo card, I want to say, out of the deck, because frankincense and myrrh is literally like stuff that you can use in like spell work and different things like that. And I feel like with this card coming through, for a lot of you guys, it could be like religious deconstruction, and it could be kind of getting more so into spiritual things and herbalism and energy work and crystals and different things like that, things that, are usually not seen in like the, quote unquote normal way of life, in a sense. So, I think that's pretty cool. And the awesome thing is you can manifest with that stuff. You can kind of just like create the life ultimately that you want out of those things. And you may be looking into that a little bit more often as you're kind of navigating this and figuring this out throughout December. Oh gosh. Empty and filling up with eggnog. We kind of have another drinking card here again. That's funny. So first we have blitzed, and now we have drinking and basically getting drunk with eggnog. So once again, you guys, if that temptation for like drinking your cares away comes up throughout the holiday season, I know dealing with unreasonable family members can be very stressful. I know dealing with people who judge you and don't really understand you and want to put you in a box is not fun, and that gives them no right to do that, of course. But I would just be careful with that. Like I said, I'm not going to judge you guys if you do. Like, that's fine. That's your business. We've all been there. We've all done it. But just try not to make it a habit is what it comes down to. And definitely don't drive like that. Don't drive. Don't get yourself in any trouble. Stay put. No business like snow business, putting on a show. So I know this card looks really cute and warm and fuzzy because we have these 3 adorable little snowmen, and they're singing, they're dancing, they're putting on a little show, right? Well, here's the thing though. This is about somebody not being who they really say they are. Just like these snowmen may look really cute and adorable, but they're not. They're just putting on a show. So this is someone who may be living their life one way or saying one thing and then their actions don't measure up. It's like listening to the music. The words are saying one thing, but the melody is saying something completely different, is what it comes down to. And I feel like this is in reference to the people who may be trying to put you in a box, the people who may be trying to confine you, the people who may be judging you for your morals and your values and your belief systems, the people who may be judging you for like using frankincense and myrrh, for example. I feel like at the end of the day, these people may be hypocrites. And once again, I feel like this very much may be religious undoing, because I know this is very common, especially in evangelical upbringings. It's not uncommon in the Christian culture for, Christians to preach, and then they don't practice what they preach, kind of a thing. So it could be an example of something like that. But regardless, I definitely feel like it's one of these people where they're judging you, but they're not even like living the life that they claim that they're living, is what it comes down to. So it's like that holier than thou, very judgmental kind of attitude. So yeah. We also have Vengeance Vixen. So I feel like this card is kind of a warning to you guys to not get into that energy, because it can be very tempting when someone is judging us and belittling us and being difficult with us about what is near and dear to our hearts and what we value and what we find to be important. It can be really hard to not go to their level, basically. It can be hard to not go to that petty level. It's hard. It's hard to be the bigger person. It's hard to take the high road. It's hard to just rise up above the drama, is what it comes down to. But sometimes we got to do that, and we got to let it go. As Elsa said, let it go. But sometimes we gotta do that. It's for our own best interest to kind of just walk away and disengage than to get into this energy. Because if we start getting into that vengeance area into that area, we're just going to be kind of allowing bitterness to take root into our heart, resentment to take root in there. We don't want any of that. And, it's not going to serve us, is what it comes down to. It's feeding right into exactly what the other party wants from us, and that is a sense of misery, because misery loves company. So don't even go there. Don't even entertain anything like that. It's not worth it. Protect your inner peace. Your inner peace should be the highest priority here. And finally, we have Hooked Like a Drug. And I think it's interesting with Hooked Like a Drug and then these two drinking cards that came out earlier. Now, I'm not saying that you have like an addiction problem or anything like that, but I do feel like there may be an addiction problem in terms of being I don't want to say that you're like addicted to these connections and these relationships where someone is trying to box you in, but I do feel like there could be, how do I describe this right? It's kind of like you guys want to break loose. You guys want to break free in terms of living your life on your terms, in your way, with your own belief system, your own morals, your own values, whether you have that completely figured out or not. But you definitely want to live your life your way doing that. But it can kind of be an addiction in terms of releasing and letting go of the old beliefs, the old values, whether they were put upon you conditionally by other people or not. I feel like it can be very hard to release that and let go of that. It's, it can be like an addictive mindset, an addictive mind frame, if anything, that may be the difficulty here in terms of releasing and letting go. But I feel like that's definitely necessary here. It is necessary to release and shed that old skin of your old beliefs, of your old values, even if that's how you were raised, even if that's like what your culture was taught to you, or your religion was taught to you, or your family taught to you. It's definitely time to release all of that. It's time to let go of all of that and either grow and develop your own beliefs and morals and values, And if you have already developed what those are, to truly take ownership for those and embrace those for what they really are, because that's who you really are now as a person. And there should be no shame in that. And it's a beautiful thing and it's a wonderful thing. So, yeah, if anything, I feel like December is definitely a key time of transformation for you guys with a lot of this stuff. It may not necessarily be the easiest month to go through. I feel like it's definitely going to have a lot of challenges for you guys, but I feel like they're going to be healthy challenges. They're going to be challenges that are ultimately growing you and developing you into the person that you truly are. You know, it's taking you to the next level. And the next level usually comes with new challenges. You know, it's like new level, new devil is what it comes down to. But embrace those challenges. Take those challenges on. Embrace your new beliefs. Embrace your new values. And that doesn't mean that you have to like cut out people in your life who don't align with your beliefs and values anymore. You can still love them. You can still be cordial to them. You can still have them in your life, even if it's from a distance. You know, as long as you're treating others with love and respect, that's all that matters. And hopefully they'll treat you with that same love and respect in return. And if they don't, that's obviously a different story, and that comes into putting up and establishing boundaries. But I feel like that definitely seems to be the main theme here you guys are going through this holiday season. This December is a time of transformation, a time of truly stepping up into what you believe, into what you value, and to what your true morals are as a person. And just remember, there are other people around you who are going to align with that. It may not be the original people you came into this life with, but there are definitely people out there who are like-hearted along with you. So hopefully this message resonates. If the message didn't flow, of course, just let it go. But if it did resonate, now you know. And as we wrap things up here, you guys, I would just ask you really quickly to give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out a lot here on my channel, on YouTube. And I would ask you to also go ahead and hit that subscribe and go ahead and subscribe. I can't talk. It's the COVID. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell if I resonate with you as a reader as well. I would love to have you guys return and come on back and enjoy more readings. And by hitting that notification bell, you will be the first one to know exactly what they are and when they're happening, kind of a thing. And also leave me a comment down below, even if it's something as small as an emoji. I would love to hear from you guys. So yeah. And finally, if I resonate with you guys as a reader, I also ask you to stop on by my website, shadowandshine.com, and you can get your own personal reading there. There's a variety of readings there, and I would love to assist you on your own personal journey, so that is the perfect place to go on ahead and check that out. If you enjoyed this oracle deck, and you would like a copy of A Magical Christmas for yourself at home, you can also find this deck over on my website as well, in the shop area, as well as a couple of other decks. So feel free to check that out. And definitely, if you do plan on ordering A Magical Christmas, I would recommend getting it earlier than later, simply because of shipping and all the other good stuff, just to make sure that you can get it on time by Christmas. So yeah, and last but not least, you guys, if you want to join my Patreon, the link to the Patreon is in the description down below as well. And over on Patreon, you know, it's just a really great community. I would really love to see you guys over there too. And yeah, you know, weekly card pulls, daily card pulls. It's just, it's a good place to be. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm finally done talking, which is a relief for my COVID. And I hope you guys have a very magical and delightful December. I am sending you guys lots of hugs from a distance, of course, COVID, and much love. Keep sparkling.